Okay, we're at the end of chapter 24 of A Course in Miracles. The Goal of Specialness is the name of this chapter. And this section is section 7, the meeting place. How bitterly does everyone tied to this world defend the specialness he wants to be the truth. His wish is law to him, and he obeys. Nothing his specialness demands does he withhold. Nothing it needs does he deny to what he loves. And while it calls to him, he hears no other voice. No effort is too great, no cost too much, no price too dear to save his specialness from the least slight, the tiniest attack, the whispered doubt, the hint of threat, or anything but deepest reverence. This is your Son, beloved of you, as you are to your Father. Yet it stands in place of your creations, who are son to you, that you might share the fatherhood of God, not snatch it from him. What is this Son that you have made to be your strength? What is this child of earth on whom such love is lavished? What is this parody of God's creation that takes the place of yours? And where are they now that the host of God has found another son whom he prefers to them? The memory of God shines not alone. What is within your brother still contains all of creation, everything created and creating, born and unborn as yet, still in the future or apparently gone by. What is in him is changeless, and your changelessness is recognized in its acknowledgement. The holiness in you belongs to him, and by your seeing it in him, returns to you. All of the tribute you have given specialness belongs to him, and thus returns to you. All of the love and care, the strong protection, the thought by day and night, the deep concern, the powerful conviction this is you, belong to him. Nothing you gave to specialness but is his due, and nothing due him is not due to you. How can you know your worth while specialness claims you instead? How can you fail to know it in his holiness? Seek not to make your specialness the truth, for if it were, you would be lost indeed. Be thankful rather it is given you to see his holiness, because it is the truth. And what is true in him must be as true in you. Ask yourself this: can you protect the mind? The body, yes, a little, not from time, but temporarily. And much you think you save, you hurt. What will you save it for? For in that choice lie both its health and harm. Save it for show, as bait to catch another fish, to house your specialness in better style, or weave a frame of loveliness around your hate, and you condemn it to decay and death. And if you see this purpose in your brothers, such is your condemnation of your own. Weave rather, then, a frame of holiness around him, that the truth may shine on him, and give you safety from decay. The Father keeps what he created safe. You cannot touch it with the false ideas you made, because it was created not by you. Let not your foolish fancies frighten you. What is immortal cannot be attacked. What is but temporal has no effect. Only the purpose that you see in it has meaning, and if that is true, its safety rests secure. If not, it has no purpose and is means for nothing. Whatever is perceived as means for truth shares in its holiness and rests in light as safely as itself. Nor will that light go out when it is gone. Its holy purpose gave it immortality, setting another light in heaven, where your creations recognize a gift from you, a sign that you have not forgotten them. The test of everything on earth is simply this: what is it for? The answer makes it what it is for you. It has no meaning of itself, yet you can give reality to it according to the purpose that you serve. Here you are but means along with it. God is a means as well as end. In heaven, means and end are one, and one with him. This is the state of true creation, found not within time, but in eternity. To no one here is this describable, nor is there any way to learn what this condition means. Not till you go past learning, learning to the given, not till you make again a holy home for your creations is it understood. A co-creator with the Father must have a son, yet must this son have been created like himself. A perfect being, all-encompassing and all-encompassed, nothing to add and nothing taken from, not born of size nor place nor time, nor held to limits or uncertainties of any kind. Here do the means and end unite as one, nor does this one have any end at all. All this is true, and yet it has no meaning to anyone who still retains one unlearned lesson in his memory, one thought with purpose still uncertain, or one wish with a divided aim. This course makes no attempt to teach what cannot easily be learned. Its scope does not exceed your own, except to say that what is yours will come to you when you are ready. Here are the means and the purpose separate, because they were so made and so perceived. And therefore do we deal with them as if they were. It is essential it be kept in mind that all perception still is upside down until its purpose has been understood. Perception does not seem to be a means, and it is this that makes it hard to grasp the whole extent to which it must depend on what you see it for. Perception seems to teach you what you see, yet it but witnesses to what you taught. It is the outward picture of a wish, an image that you wanted to be true. Look at yourself and you will see a body. Look at this body in a different light and it looks different. And without a light, it seems that it is gone. Yet you are reassured that it is there because you still can feel it with your hands and hear it move. Here is an image that you want to be yourself. It is the means to make your wish come true. It gives the eyes with which you look on it, the hands that feel it, and the ears with which you listen to the sound it makes. It proves its own reality to you. Thus is the body made a theory of yourself, with no provisions made for evidence beyond itself, and no escape within its sight. Its course is sure when seen through its own eyes. It grows and withers, flourishes and dies, and you cannot conceive of you apart from it. You brand it sinful and you hate its acts, judging it evil. Yet your specialness whispers, quote, "Here is my own beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." Thus does the, quote, Son, unquote, become the means to serve his, quote, Father's, unquote, purpose. Not identical, not even like, but still a means to offer to the, quote, Father, unquote, what he wants. Such is the travesty on God's creation. For as his Son's creation gave him joy and witnessed to his love and shared his purpose, so does the body testify to the idea that made it and speak for its reality and truth. And thus are two sons made, and both appear to walk this earth without a meeting place and no encounter. One do you perceive outside yourself, your own beloved Son. The other rests within his Father's Son, within your brother as he is in you. Their difference does not lie in how they look, nor where they go, nor even what they do. They have a different purpose. It is this that joins them to their like and separates each from all aspects with a different purpose. The Son of God retains his Father's will. The Son of Man perceives an alien will and wishes it were so. And thus does his perception serve his wish by giving it appearances of truth. Yet can perception serve another goal. It is not bound to specialness, but by your choice. And it is given you to make a different choice and use perception for a different purpose. And what you see will serve that purpose well and prove its own reality to you. All right. This is the final section of this chapter, the goal of specialness. This chapter has been all about specialness. It's the running theme. And this section is called The Meeting Place. And I think we can maybe start at the end here, because the end is very clear. This section is a little difficult in some ways. Some of these sections are rather poetic and difficult to grasp. We'd have to look at each line and try to understand the deeper significance of what is being said. But basically, the upshot of all of this is that we are in a world of duality, and we see through the body's eyes. And because we see through the body's eyes, we see the duality, we see separation, because the body can only witness and testify to its maker, which is the ego thought system. The course's one of the course's basic premises is that God did not create the world. God could not create the world because God can only create like God's self, and this world is unlike, in many respects, God, or at least the illusionary aspects of it. So the ego actually created, the ego thought system created the world and the body as a way to hide from God, because God became an unloving father. Because once the separation happened, or appeared to happen, God was now seen as a avenger and a punisher that would punish for the sin of separating, which never happened. And God, in God's reality, didn't even know about the separation, right? The basic idea is there is no time and space. Nothing really ever happened. God has never changed. There only, somehow there was this tiny mad idea of separation that led to the creation, ultimately, of the universe and the world as we know it, and the body. And as I was saying, the body can only witness to what it sees. And what it sees is constantly testifying and witnessing to the separation. Everything that we see, everything in this world, testifies, in the physical world, testifies to the fact that it's not really a fact, but testifies to the separation, right? That is real. And Jesus is saying, let's read the end of this. Jesus is saying that there is another way of seeing, and there is another way of perceiving everything, and it is through the eyes of unity versus duality. It is through the eyes of the atonement principle, which is that separation from God is impossible, never happened, never could happen. And so anything that seems to speak of death and duality is not real, and we have a choice of whether we are going to make it real or not. In other words, we have a choice of whether we are going to continue to give energy and give reality to the duality, to the lie, or are we going to give energy and affirmation to the truth? And Jesus is presenting the truth, if you believe it, and not everyone would, I saw on I looked at some of the comments, and one of the comments was that this is a channeled writing, and the person said, "Well, I don't believe much in channeled writings," and I've heard that before. This was not a channeled writing, actually. A channeled writing is generally what happens with channeling is the person channeling it is not present. They are more or less taken over by an entity or a spirit, whatever you want to call it, that writes or speaks through them, such as Edgar Cayce, for example. Whereas Helen is called a scribe. She's not called a channeler, and this is not a channeled writing. She was completely conscious when this was coming through her. She could turn it off or on at will. She could stop mid-sentence and go back to it later. This was not the same as channeling. But I just wanted to say that because, I think the basic problem that people might have with this is, where is this coming from, right? How do I know that this really was Jesus? Or how do I know, if it, even if we're, say it doesn't have to be Jesus, but how do I know this is the truth, right? How do I know this is the, the way it really is? Maybe this is itself is a diluting factor that's trying to delude us. It's something I've heard also from people that don't like A Course in Miracles. That Bill worked for the CIA, and somehow he was working for MK Ultra, and this is this is an MK Ultra project. There's crazy conspiracy theories that have been proposed, and a lot of it comes down to trust and to your own inner knowing about this stuff. But anyway, let's read this last section here. The Son of Man perceives an alien will and wishes it were so. By the way, there's the Son of Man and the Son of God. In the Course, the Son of Man generally means when we identify with the ego, then we're the Son of Man. But when we identify with our true reality, we're the Son of God, right? Son of Man is used also in the Gospels, of course. Jesus refers to himself as the Son of Man. It's also taken from the book of Daniel. The Son of Man perceives an alien will and wishes it were so. And thus does his perception serve his wish by giving it appearances of truth. Yet can perception serve another goal. It is not bound to specialness, but by your choice. And it is given you to make a different choice and use perception for a different purpose. And what you see will serve that purpose well and prove its own reality to you. So this is saying, in answer to what we were just talking about, that the only way to really know if this is true or not is to actually put it into practice and see it for yourself. You see it by its fruits, you will know if it's true or not. One other thing we could read here is, this is something that Jesus said earlier, way back. The test of everything on earth is simply this: what is it for? What is the purpose? The answer makes it what it is for you. It has no meaning of itself, yet you can give reality to it according to the purpose that you serve. Here you are but means along with it. Okay, so in other words, that's the question to ask about everything. You could say this is clarifying your intentions in every moment. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I serving? And there's only two things I can serve. I can serve the ego's thought system, or I can serve the Holy Spirit's thought system. The ego's thought system is based in the idea of separation. And if I am acting or thinking or speaking from that, with that purpose of the ego thought system, I'm coming from guilt and sin and judgment and attack. And if I'm not doing that, I'm coming from a place of understanding, compassion, forgiveness, and wanting to know the truth. And that's all there is all the time. You know, those are the only two choices, and those are the only two purposes we could serve. And so we can ask ourselves that basic question: what is it for? What purpose does this serve? Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm saying, what purpose is it serving? Is it serving my awakening to my true self, or is it serving the separation, to continue the separation in my mind? All right, thank you. I think that's good for tonight. We're going to move on to chapter 25. I'm going to do another reading, I think, right now from the manual. I've been posting the book that I did called Simply A Course in Miracles. It's on Amazon. And also I have been putting the link to our Patreon if you feel inspired to contribute. I'm a yoga teacher. I do yoga teacher trainings and with my wife and our son, Sonny. And we also, we do music, we do ceremony, plant medicine ceremonies. We do, we're based in Florida, and I write books and do music. So if you want to help support the work, and my wife is a brilliant artist and makes jewelry as well, and a brilliant, like a master salsa dancer. So if you want to help support, please do. We welcome it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.